Hi, hi. This is my sketchbook tour. This is a talent art creation sketchbook. This is from February through May 2024. I don't know if you can hear me. We'll see how the audio is. I might have to do a voiceover later. This is my front page. Just got some writing about sort of like intentions for the sketchbook, but I don't start with this page. I go back and add as I work through the sketchbook. So sort of like ideas and then going back and forth. This sketchbook is kind of like me grappling with figurative versus abstract, which you'll see in the work. I went to school for abstract painting, but I do work in figurative form as well. Also, sorry about my scratchy voice. That's the way it is. I have a congenital condition which makes my voice super scratchy. It's called a glottal gap. You can look it up. Second page. I don't always work on this page, like the weird folded page. So it's just some collage elements. I do a lot of song lyrics. Not a lot, but some song lyrics. So if you recognize the song / artist the song is from, leave a comment. That'd be cool. This is the first page in the sketchbook, so that's February 1st, 2024. I always do this. I always write the date on the first one somehow. So not a lot to say here. Sort of weird garden. So this is a page I painted and then hated and covered in gesso, and then I did this drawing on top. So that was not from February 1st. This drawing is from much later. Yeah. So some more painting and drawing, some abstract forms. I'm gonna get into several sort of like garden scenes. I don't know. I do a lot of circles. Kind of obsessed with like ovals, which you'll see. Some more. Like I'm really into like dot grids. This is a landscape that is kind of like an abstracted landscape. Let's just make sure I'm still in frame. My like overhead thingy kind of sucks, so we'll see how we do. I'm gonna have to like adjust it as we go. So this one, I actually like this one. I like this pink element. So just a drawing, just kind of doodling here. Not much to say. This is a page that I painted over later. I think I drew these circles all over and then I kind of like filled them in with paint. Kind of scratchy. This is acrylic paint, so there's some tragedy there where it stuck together. That's okay. Some ink, drawings, doodles. This page I really like. Still got the date. I will stop dating them throughout the sketchbook because I got bored of doing that. This one, yeah, this is something I painted over that I hated. Then I painted these flowers on top. I like painting flowers. I don't know if it's like the most, like the most. This is another doodle page, some colored pencil, words. That's the reason I write pals there. I have no idea why. I filled the page in with like a marker, which I used to be really into markers in my sketchbook, but I've kind of moved away from that, focusing on other media that I think is a little more elevated. Not that markers aren't elevated, but just like it's for my style. It's not. It comes across as very like. Sorry about that. I live in New York City. Yeah, it's just a little more like graphic, kind of cartoonish when you're doing such like abstract work. The marker seems to me a little cartoony. This is colored pencil for the most part. Same here. And I'm using a mixture of water soluble colored pencils and normal colored pencils, which is why I'm getting some like weird textures going on. This is just a lot of my sketchbook used to be like this. I made an effort recently to not have so many words in my sketchbook because I'll just write a lot. I have another book that I write in, like sometimes as I'm working in the sketchbook. Like sometimes when I'm working, a lot of words come. So like, you know, they kind of like come out of me like poetry. Make sure you're still in frame. This thing's kind of moving as I'm going. Doodles. Some doodles that I painted over. Kind of like make them seem more cool. I don't know. Some dots, and then I drew some cacti things on top. I like this pink. I really like this page actually. And then I hate this page, but I kept it in because I liked some of the texture, which we'll get to soon. More flowers, dots and flowers. These are some, like, I've been doing these scenes where it's like flowers in pots and the garden and there's an arch in the background. Like maybe it's a window. Yeah, I did this in marker and then I went over it with watercolor. To kind of like fill it in, like this is watercolor. And that, sort of, I sometimes will draw things I see like on Pinterest or whatever, and then I'll kind of like smush them together, and then I add my dots. You know, it's kind of like one of those. This was another one of that. Well, I pasted this 4-inch piece of paper in because I hated the drawing, and then I just started drawing dots, and this is like the beginning of a process I'm working through right now. It's like finding a process you like rather than working. But go back a step. I'm having a lot of trouble finding like my artistic style, which is not like the most important thing in the world, but like art as a style, like I made more like a way of making art that appeals to me. And this is like one of the paintings that's like the key to what I'm working on now, which is sort of like a very layered approach. So I really enjoy this page, even though it seems kind of simple, just dots and gouache and colored pencil. I should say that. I'm gonna go do this page, which is just dots in this like format, and then this is marker. Which is fine, like marker is fine for like something like this. But like I find if I'm like doing something more involved, it doesn't really work out. Yeah, marker again, that I didn't like, so then I painted the background. Some vines. And they're like landscape, thinking about atmosphere and like how to make texture and paint. So this is wash and I think Neocolor 2s. This page is stuck together. This is just acrylic over some ink drawings. More acrylic. Some drawings of flowers that I didn't like, and then there's some that didn't turn out, so I just covered them with acrylic paint. Just doodling here. You know, like new format. This page is not gonna, like, this doesn't feel finished to me, but I left it because, like, you know, sometimes I'm just like, it's not worth like stressing myself out about. This camera is moving. Sorry about that. More dots. I was just testing markers here. And then this I did in Florida. And this one I also did in Florida. There's a leaf from Florida in here. I was in Florida for a couple days. And this drawing I also did in Florida, but I hated it, so I covered it and put this poem and a postcard and this cutout that I did. You can see the glue that I used here because it wasn't sticking, so I kept having to add more glue. I need better glue. Definitely on my like 2-buy list, but this glue is fine. Doodles of flowers. See, more words. Like this will kind of like come to me as I'm working, and like I have to write it down somewhere, but I don't know. Some cats. Wonky cats. I love wonky cats. This is sort of like a thinky page, like previous one I was talking about, like thinking about what the shapes are, almost. It's like what I think about when I think about stones. It's like the shapes I draw, and then like somebody crouching inside the gravestones hidden in the garden. I was trying to like illustrate that. I don't know. I did a very good job. And here are a couple just gouache paintings. This one I like a lot. There's colored pencil on top. Like I've been working through a lot of like gouache and then colored pencil. I like pink. I love this color pink. And then this one. And then this really crazy abstract one. This has a lot of energy in it. It like reminds me of like fruits or like slides or like an amusement park. A roller coaster, that's the word I was thinking. There's also like a fruit element. I don't know why. And then I painted all these like stones. Yeah, I don't know. Some drawing. Well, sometimes I don't know what to say. Like, what am I thinking about when I'm doing this? And I'm like, I don't have thoughts. I just make it, and then I'm like, well, I have to think about it later. That's a whole nother process. Whole nother video, maybe. Like, adding meaning to shapes that you've created. We'll see. This is just watercolor. This paper is not really like meant for watercolor, so it kind of granulates in a weird way, which I kind of like. Actually, this was something, I wrote something super depressing, so I painted it over it with red, and then I added these lines and drew some little doodles. I don't know if you can read what I wrote. We'll see. And then, yeah, just some dots. A field of dots. And then I need to empty my pencil sharpener, because if it's too full, I can't sharpen my pencils. And I use a lot of colored pencil. And these are pens. This page doesn't feel finished, but I got bored of it. And then here's like, like the 100 heads drawing challenge. So I started drawing heads but I'm pretty sure I did like 4 or 5. You'll see them. But then I kind of abandoned it because I know how to draw. It's not like I'm learning how to draw. Like this isn't a very good drawing, but like I can do it. I just find it's not enjoyable. More blah, blah. Yeah, here's the second head. More song lyrics and some flowers. This is all colored pencil. And then trying to draw some flowers or like weird cacti, like from my imagination, not looking at anything. I think I wasn't looking at any references here. And another head, a bunny rabbit, another bunny rabbit. I hate this page, but the bunny is kind of cute, so I left it. Yeah, just words. Not much to say there. Another head. I think that's probably the last one I did. Like obviously I know how to draw, it's just boring. The thing, it's been spring, so this is a weird one. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so we're getting into, yeah, this is like a landscape or a seascape and gouache, and then some strawberries, and then I was thinking about memory, and then this bird showed up. I don't know, odd. And it's very muted, gloomy drawing. Let's see how this footage is. Probably sucks. And then swatching all the colored pencils. I have a ton of colored pencils, but I keep an assortment handy, and I swatched all of those. And then I wrote this before that. Okay, so nope, not yet. Some flower in vases, and I did this like it's 10:30 on this Thursday, and people out there honking. I can't really stop them. Flowers and vases. I do this a lot where I'll draw something on one page and then try to draw it again on the other page. Or like I'll do them at the same time almost. It's just like a visual sketchbook thing. I don't know. And then painting. Some words that I covered and flowers. I got kind of bored of this page. Same here. I was thinking about like the cherry blossoms were like there's some in the park near me, and I walk my dog every day, so I see like the progression of the flowers and stuff, and I was thinking about like all the petals on the ground. Yeah. And here's another portrait, like double portrait. Maybe the same woman, maybe not. I don't love this. And then I just painted the page brown and did some colored pencil on top. And then I did these two ladies. I thought about painting them in, like on the pink page, and then painting on top of that. But I really liked them how they were just like white. And then, okay, so we're gonna go back to this drawing. So this is like this, I did this one, and then I started doing these. So you'll see like it's the same like layering process, but trying to like work through it. So I did this, and then this, and then there's marker on top, I mean like brush marker, watercolor brush marker on top. And then this is colored pencil and watercolor. And the same. And then this one, I added some like collage elements to the base, and then I went over with gesso, and then there's gouache and colored pencil and Neocolor 2s and watercolor. It's like all in there. Same here. I need to like focus on like different shapes, and my brush had glitter on it, so that's why there's glitter. And then this is pretty much the last page, second to last. I was just like feeling kind of down, so I went through and did this doodle. It's kind of like a doodle and then colored in, but it's just, and I wrote ick because I was like, this sucks. But there's some parts of it I like now that I'm looking at it. But it's just kind of like, yeah. And then I drew my hands. These are bad drawings. And then I just painted the background with watercolor. And this page I don't use. And then more song lyrics. And some cards. This is what I use. I have one in all my sketchbooks. Like if I have colored pencil on one page, I'll like stick it in here. So then on the next page I can like really scratch in and not get the colored pencil to like transfer onto each other. And I find them really helpful. Like the little like piece of paper like this is just basic instruction paper. And then I have some postcards. Franz, Mark, the red horses. I don't know if you can read that. But okay, yeah. It's just hanging out there. And then I saw them in concert not long ago. If you know, you know. Okay, that's it. That's the end. Thanks, bye.